Hi, this is Ian at Wirral Computer Services. Today I'm going to be doing a digitizer screen replacement on an iPod Touch 4. The battery's still there, so you can see that the LCD is still working, but we've got this massive cracked screen across the front here. We've got bits coming off that, so we need to replace that screen. So we'll turn it off. I've got the power off. That's off there. Okay, we're going to start by removing the screen. Okay, so we're just taking our X-Acto knife. We've already warmed up the iPod in order to soften the glue. Let's take the X-Acto knife around the edges to separate the screen from the base. We've got to be careful of some of the ribbon cables, etc., around the home button and around the top left corner. That's your Wi-Fi cable, which can be easily cut if you're trying to remove the screen. Once we've got the glue, we just start prying it up. This was very difficult to do on this particular iPod because it was coming off in tiny little bits rather than one large piece. So it was a very tricky thing to pry off. I had to go away from the camera a few times, unfortunately. So we're just separating the screen, the digitizer, from the base that contains the logic board. We've got to unpick the LCD cable and cut the digitizer. So I think I unpicked the LCD cable first. Now I'm just cutting the digitizer. And the two pieces should come away from each other. Hi, this is Ian at Wirral Computer Services, and we're going to be doing our screen replacement on an iPod 4. There's the damaged screen removed. So we've already removed that. We've already removed all the broken glass from the inside. And all the glue. I removed the screws that cover this back plate here, and I've loosened it off. That's where we're up to on it. So we just separated the glass, removed the cover for the logic board, removing the logic board screws. Piece of copper in the top corner can just be cut, it's not essential for anything. We're starting to pry the logic board up. We don't want to pull the logic board off, just pry it up a little bit so that we can fit the digitizer underneath. There's also a copper ribbon that runs around it, so we need to be able to replace that copper ribbon as well. So I was just showing you where the digitizer goes in there. Like I say, we just want to pull it up enough to get underneath it. About a centimetre, 1.5 centimetres. So that was the copper ribbon. There's the new screen and digitizer assembly that we're going to be fitting. Don't, if you're going to try and do this yourself, don't buy a digitizer that's on its own. You won't be able to install it. It doesn't have a film on it that the digitizer will have of the original one. So you'd just be wasting your money. Just reconnect the 2 screws either side of the web camera. And reconnect the LCD cable once we've put those screws back in. Right, I've just replaced that digitizer, hadn't I? So, as after I checked it, it wasn't working properly. Well, that's why we check it before we stick it back down, just in case something has gone awry. So the steps that you just saw me reconnecting the LCD and the digitizer I repeated because I checked it and the digitizer wasn't working. The LCD screen was. So we're now just replacing the screws to the logic board cover. And bending the digitizer cable so that it doesn't break when it's applied. And there we see it was working then. So now we're going to apply double-sided tape all the way around the frame. Quite a fiddly job. Especially as the tape just came away from the backing paper when I took it off. So we stick that down and then we just put the face of the iPod back. So there we are, job done. We've gone from that to this. Nice clean job. We press the power button there, we get our display and our touchpad works as well. You can see that so switch it off and call the customer for collection.